Welcome to another episode of the Jeff Crilley Show. I'm your host, Jeff Crilley, and I'm thrilled to have Tim Hoch in studio. He's a trial lawyer, a very successful lawyer and friend. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you having me on. It's great to be here.
Cool. Well, let's kind of do 101 because when people hear lawyer, there's lots of lawyers, but a trial lawyer is different. Why is that?
A trial lawyer is different because trial lawyers are traditionally referred to as in sort of the generic term, those who will represent plaintiffs in cases on a contingency fee basis. That's the term that's sort of gained popular acceptance now.
But some attorneys are transactional attorneys, so they couldn't actually go into a courtroom and argue your case for you.
Right. You have all kinds of attorneys. You have the transaction attorneys. You have maybe a probate attorney. You have attorneys that are more contract in nature. But trial lawyers specifically gear their practice towards the courtroom.
And you graduated from TCU.
Graduated from TCU in 1985, went to OU Law School, graduated from there in 1988. So I've been practicing law a long time. I used to make fun of people like me.
Now, why did you get into law?
You know, I don't know. It seems like my dad was always yelling about lawyers and didn't like lawyers and this, that, and the other. So I probably was intrigued by it. If he didn't like them, I thought, well, who's making him mad today? I say that tongue-in-cheek. My dad was such a great guy. But I had some friends whose parents were very successful lawyers. I grew up in Oklahoma City, and these lawyers I sort of idolized them. And I worked summers for different law firms. And I just my skill set sort of lent itself to that. I like to write, and I like to read. So that was it just sort of geared me that way.
And I'll vouch for Tim. He's a lawyer with true integrity and character, because I think if there's a stigma attached to your profession, it's, oh, well, this person just wants to bill me for the most, or extend the fight so he can make more money. And that's just not the case with you, is it?
Not really. I mean, obviously, I have to earn my money, but
right.
Here's the thing. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been very privileged and very fortunate, and I really treasure my clients. I don't take on too many cases at a time. I'll probably have 10 or 12 active cases going at any given time. So I really try to give my undivided attention to my clients. Every client of mine has my cell phone number. Every client of mine calls me at any hour of the day. And they're very demanding, and the cases that I handle are difficult cases. They're either involve a large sum of money, or they involve someone who's been catastrophically injured. And so I really try to give that one-on-one personal attention to those folks.
And you've really become a national expert. How many interviews did you do today?
This morning, I think I did 17 interviews.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
Just with radio stations all over the country, and I know you've done a ton of television interviews. We've got some clips that we're going to show the audience. But is that fun? Do you like being a commentator on the news?
I do. You know, I'm sort of a rare breed. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I really enjoy it. You know, I talk to so many folks in any profession, but particularly in the legal profession, who are so burned out on what they do. And it's disappointing, because I think, well, then don't do it. Because your job is to be the most zealous advocate you can be for whoever you happen to represent. And it's unfortunate if you don't have your heart and soul in that. So, but I love it. I'm kind of wired weird anyway.
Favorite case over 30 years? I mean, do you have one that you look back on and say, I mean, regardless of the money involved, what was your favorite case in 30 years?
Gosh, I wish you'd warned me. I have had so many great cases. I think probably early in my career, we represented the parents of an infant neonate, and this neonate died in a hospital, a neonatal intensive care unit, and we represented the parents, and it was a real mystery as to how this child died. And they couldn't figure out for the longest time what had caused this child to die, because this little girl had been progressing so well. And we found out that it was a vitamin E solution that was not approved and had gone around the FDA. It was a vitamin E solution called E-Ferrol, and it caused this infant's death. And so we investigated that, and we found out that this particular company in St. Louis skirted all the FDA laws, and ended up, they think that this particular solution ended up killing about 38 infants nationwide. And so that was very gratifying to me. I've had so many great opportunities to represent people. I've tried a lot of cases on behalf of people, and some we've lost, and some we've won, and most we've won, thankfully. But even the ones you lose, when you get to the end of it and you look at your client and they know that you have fought like hell for them, that's gratifying in and of itself. So.
Wow, that's powerful. So for the person watching this on social media or YouTube, and they're thinking, well, I should probably reach out to him. What is it like to engage you? What's the first step?
Just call my office or send an online inquiry. Again, since I don't represent that many people, I'm very responsive. I mean, I live with that cell phone just like you do. Yeah. I've seen you with your cell phone.
Yep.
It is tied to my hip, much to my wife's dismay. And I've got clients that'll ring me at 11 o'clock at night, and I've got clients that'll ring me at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so really just call my office, and my legal assistant will get you in touch with me. And if you want, a lot of my practice, honestly, is just if you have a legal problem, if I can't help you, I'll find someone who can. I'm not just going to leave you out there and not be able to sort of usher you in the right direction. So I spend a lot of time doing that, and I get calls on a lot of very unique situations. I'll just put it that way.
Wow. Tim, you're a great guy. Give everybody your website.
Thank you so much. Website is Hoch Law Firm, so that's HOCHLAWFIRM, HochLawFirm.com.
Thank you for coming on the show. We'll have to have you back again.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. Appreciate it.
And that's it for another episode of The Jeff Crilley Show.